Friends, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about celebrating Johanna Basford and her works and the wonderful contribution that she has brought to the colouring community. Heck, she's even pioneered it and shaped it to a huge degree. So we're going to be discussing that today. I posted a video back in, it was like December last year or January, and we're going through the plans that I had for 2025. We were discussing the possibility of doing deep dives into particular illustrators and their works. And the first cab off the rank that I wanted to do was, of course, Johanna Basford, because her colouring books and illustrations were the very, very first that I've ever purchased. And so I thought it's very fitting to start with Johanna. And she's actually just announced some new releases. So the timing is perfect, so I thought, why don't we dive in? I'm super excited to chat to you guys about this today, and I have a pile of Johanna's books here with me ready to go. So as most of us know, or maybe you don't, if you don't know who Johanna Basford is, welcome. Hope today's discussion can inspire you to check out some of her amazing illustrations. Johanna is a Scottish illustrator who actually has a background in textiles and design, which I think is pretty cool. Johanna became a publishing phenomenon in the early 2010s with her adult colouring books, and I think it's safe to say she was definitely a huge influence and definitely one of the biggest pioneers when it came to the adult colouring. I think back then it was called an adult colouring craze because I think people thought that it wouldn't last, but here we are like 12, 15 years on to bit. We are here still over a decade after the fact, and we are still loving this absolutely mindful and wonderful hobby. I don't know if she was the sole pioneer. It may have been just Johanna. There may have been some other artists as well. I know that Millie Marotta has a lot of books that are around that era as well. Johanna is known for her hand-drawn style of illustrations. Today's video is not a video about AI versus hand-drawn. I'm simply just stating the fact that hers are hand-drawn. But I think especially with Johanna's style and the works that she produces, the hand-drawn touch is everything, and it definitely plays into the nostalgia aspect of things, which we will explore in a little bit. Okay, so the OG absolute game changer of colouring books is Johanna's first publication, which is Secret Garden. This is a Kmart copy, I think, so this is not like a first publication copy. The first edition of this was released in 2013, and it had that famous like jacket style thing. I've got a copy of Enchanted Forest here, which was her next one, and this one has that jacket style where you can pull that off and colour it, and there also is a page in the back that you can pull out and colour. It's this massive page. This is a later edition, so this doesn't have it, and the paper on this is white, where her very, very original works, the paper was a bit more like an ivory colour. It's funny though, because Enchanted Forest was my first book that I ever bought of Johanna's, and I thought that was the first release ever. I didn't realise Secret Garden was first. So maybe it was when I got back into colouring again last year that I realised that it was her second. And so I feel like with Secret Garden, we are really playing into, of course, it's just a whole bunch of flowers and lily ponds and things like that, and leaves and all these beautiful things and butterflies. And to me, like, just look at that. Just look at that. It's just beautiful. To me, the whole concept of Secret Garden, I don't know if you guys remember the movie Secret Garden. I watched that a lot as a kid. My memory does not serve me well now, so I can't really remember a whole huge aspect on it, but it just really, the whole concept of a secret garden, I feel just really plays into that sense of nostalgia. Most of us would have some kind of memory with a beautiful secret garden, whether it be our gardens as we were growing up as children, either ours or families or relatives, or weekends away, or movies that featured gardens in them. Even things like, you know, Anne of Green Gables, or if we're thinking about Disney or anything like that, we've all got some kind of memory that ties into this secret garden. With Johanna Basford's early works as well, so with this Secret Garden one, it is like an inky treasure hunt and colouring book. So there are, as you colour each page, there's items to find, and they say them in the back. So the first one, there's like 2 songbirds, 1 squirrel, 1 key. That type of colouring isn't my favourite. I'm generally not one to, like, I don't really like to do the whole like search and find the thing. So I just like not ignore it, but I just go, oh yeah, it's there, but it's not like a highlight for me. For some people it can be. Her second publication is Enchanted Forest, which, like I was saying before, was my first one, and also comes with the jacket that you can pull out, which is actually super handy because so when you pull it out, the book is just this, it's actually this really nice brown. I really like it. I really like the jackets. And at the back, you get these absolutely like, and I'm gonna pull it up like this, but this like huge fold out, and it's this massive, huge dragon things. Like, look how big that is. Like, look how long. That must have taken her like so long to draw, and I love that they're in there. I love those. Like, I keep telling myself that I'm gonna color that one day, and I will. I just got to do it. So Enchanted Forest was released in 2015 and is just full on with the fantasy vibes. This to me is just like Disney's Fantasia all over it, and I love it. Again, just playing into that huge amount of nostalgia that I've had as a child and connects me back to my childhood and all the Disney and all the bits and bobs that I used to love watching as a kid. And my love for gardens and nature, it definitely plays into that. So, and there's castles and stuff in here. So like Disney princesses, all that huge plays into that. Enchanted Forest and The Secret Garden have had 10th anniversary editions released. I don't have copies of those here myself. I've been tempted to get a 10th anniversary of Secret Garden. I just don't have that on me. The next one that has been released, which I actually don't have a copy of here, and I really need to purchase one, is Lost Ocean. This is very much like aquatic wonderland. It's very self-explanatory, but yeah, I don't actually have it, so I can't show you, but that is one that I'm keen to get on my hot little hands. So many of you love this book. I know that so many of you have actually coloured in this book multiple times. I really want to get a copy of that book. I feel like her older publications are a little bit more harder to come by. Whether she'll release a 10th anniversary edition of it or not, I don't know. We'll see. But again, playing on the theme of that magical, whimsical design, the nostalgic little, fish and creatures and all of that we love to colour. And again, I think that one has the jacket as well, and all the big page at the end that you can pull out. So the next one of Johanna's publications that we have is Magical Jungle. Now this one is my favourite. I don't know why. Maybe it's leaves. I just love the design. I love everything about this. This is a book that I just go to town on, and I don't care how colourful or psycho it is. I don't care how many pairs of sunglasses I need to buy to actually colour this page, but I am obsessed with this. And I know that we all talk about, oh, I'm obsessed, but I am obsessed with this book. And if you've followed me for a while, you'd know that. So her style is very much still the same here. So we've got certain ways that she'll draw leaves and flowers, and certain animals are very much the same. So it's very, things like this tiger here. It's a tiger? Yeah, it's a tiger. So that's very OG Johanna, this style of illustration. Got some big scenes as well. Again, very OG style when it comes to the way that she does leaves. I find that with Johanna's stuff, you can just look at it and you know that it's Johanna without even seeing it in a book. And I love that about her publications as well, is that, yeah, you can just look at it and just know that it's hers. Still going on with the theme of she'll draw little things in them and you got to find them. So that's still going on in there, and still going with the jackets. However, we've got with the Magical Jungle, I don't know if Lost Ocean's the same. This is actually coloured, so it's green. I don't know if Lost Ocean might be blue. So this actually has tear out pages at the back. So it's a little bit different from the big pull out pages, but Magical Jungle is one of my favorites. And I only got that one, I think I got that for Christmas as part of a gift from my parents actually. And the great thing about these covers too is that we see all over Instagram, all over YouTube, so many people actually colouring them in and literally colouring the book cover to cover. I'm not even joking. And I love the way that the title pages, you can colour them, the nameplate pages, you can colour them, even the publication information. She even has some borders around all the intro pages. So there's so much opportunity to colour. It's great. The next one is Ivy and the Inky Buddy Fly. Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, which was released in 2017. Now that is another book that I don't have. Now this book is part storybook, part coloring book, so it's a bit of a hybrid, and I think this is where she starts branching out and trying some different things, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think this was the first publication I've got in my list that starts to like branch out into a storybook, and it's not just a coloring book. If you have Ivy in the Inky, I can't say Ivy and the Inky Inky, yeah. I can't say Ivy and the Inky Butterfly correctly. Oh my gosh. If this is your favorite book, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your favorite pages are from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I can't say this title. Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I haven't seen this book in stores much. I will buy it if I see it. I could potentially buy it on Amazon. I know that Magical Jungle is still in circulation. And I have my copy of Secret Garden that I have there is also, I've seen it around in Kmart and things like that. And there's the 10th anniversary editions that are still floating around as well. Okay, so the next cab off the rank is World of Flowers. And I absolutely love this color. I love the peach and the rose gold. I'm a huge rose gold fan. So this one was released in 2018 and we're still focusing on the coloring book floral adventure style of work. This one again has the jacket of pink. So you color that in and look at the jacket you've got. Look at all of that you can color in. Like she just adds like bits to color in like left, right and center. This one also has a massive pull-outy bit in the back, which you can do, which I haven't done yet. I will. And this one, of course, as we know, is just a huge homage to flowers, and I love this book. However, I've only colored one page in this book. I do intend to do more. It's just I've had so many other things to do. But for me, this is where her style starts to change just a little bit. So we start to introduce these like big roomy kind of pages. I mean, let me know in the comments if in Ivy and the Butterfly book it was the same. But yeah, we start to, so she's got her old style, which I think is very much still prevalent. Again, I would just be able to look at this and know it's Johanna. But we start to get into a little bit more, the scenes are a little bit different. Stuff like that, like this garden shed kind of stuff. Huge. So this is where she starts, I feel like she starts to explore different themes, and we've also got some simpler pages that we can complete as well if we want. It's definitely, if I were to hold up World of Flowers and Secret Garden, I feel like we'd start to notice some differences, which isn't a bad thing. I think it's great. I actually really like it when artists branch into new areas but still like keep a hold of their own style as they started off with. Okay, the next one is How to Draw Inky Wonderlands, and that one was released in 2019, and that one, as if you have that book, you'd know it's a drawing guide. It's a bit more of an exploration into creativity and learning to create these beautiful images for yourself. But yeah, I don't have that one. I think I know I'm a terrible drawer, so I'm not even gonna try. Maybe one day. I do see it circulating the shelves and in the bookstores quite a bit. Okay, so the next one is we have Worlds of Wonder in 2021. This is that beautiful, again, like purple and silver that a lot of people are starting to color these because there's a lot more white space, which is cool. This one that I have here, this is not a jacket, but it does fold out and you can color that, which actually looks really fun. Same with the title page, the publication information has some stuff on it, which is really cool. Again, this is where we start to see, I suppose, a fusion of her old style versus her new style, which there's actually not much difference between them, I don't think. It's still very, very Johanna, but you've got things like this where you actually have a whole heap of room to do your own backgrounds if you want to. So like we don't have as much detail going into the margins, which I actually think is really good. I really struggle coloring in the margins. So we have a lot more food being added here, a lot more architecture. I feel like every one of her pages still has flowers, still has ocean themes, but we've just got different scenes going on. And again, with these big open pictures. I've heard mixed reviews about this style. I don't mind it. I think that style of coloring and those style of illustrations is really good for if you're just wanting something that's not intricate, if you're just wanting something that is just a single focal point, a single art subject, or say if you want to actually like practice on some backgrounds and things like that. But let me know what you think. Do you like this style? Or do you prefer her older style? Let me know. And she's got new stuff like this where it's like, again, like it's flying off the page. And yeah, so it's like this hybrid between old and new, but it's still her. And I think it's where we start to see these little islands that she's like famous for too, which is pretty cool. And then of course she's still got her intricate stuff in there. And the only page, oh no, I have colored a couple. I shouldn't say the only page. That was a Chris Chang tutorial that I did. You may have seen the 2-part video series that I've done on that. Oh, if you want, this is just like greaseproof paper that I actually just pop in between each page so I don't wreck the other one. So yeah, I still feel like we are playing into the whimsical, we are playing into the nostalgia, we are playing into... She's really famous for doing this like repetitive patterns page, which I actually love doing gel pens. I have a few of these up on my channel if you're interested. I think we've actually dropped, by this point, I think we've dropped the whole like find the thing theme. I don't see that in here. The next book that we have publicized is Rooms of Wonder. And again, so we start to see a theme here with titles. So we've got like Rooms of Wonder, Worlds of Wonder, and then we move into like, then we've got things like Magical World. So we start to see that there's a really strong theme of like wonder and worlds and discovery and exploration and whimsicalness. Okay, so Rooms of Wonder to me is definitely probably the most complex of her works. So we've got a lot of pages where it is this like massive sampler stuff, things like this. So this is very, very intricate. So like the physical books are the same size, but the line work and everything else is smaller. So this suits people who really enjoy intricate coloring, which I actually quite like. But if you were to compare this book with some of her, with like her earlier works, there is a bit of a difference here, and you can still tell that it's Johanna, but it's just different. The way she colors leaves is still very much the same, but the themes vary so much, and we'll have things like musical instruments and things like that. So we start going into a different style. So I feel like she's branching out into new subjects, new elements to colour. So I haven't done a lot in this book actually. I know this has been around for a while. What were we? 2022. So with Rooms of Wonder, so we've gone from like secret garden and forest and stuff into whimsical interiors. So there's still a lot of like natural stuff, but yeah, just some new elements are being brought in. Probably what I forgot to mention was 30 Days of Creativity. I think that was 2021. So 30 Days of Creativity is more your interactive and your mindset work if you're into things like that. So that's another book that I don't have, but I'm probably not going to purchase that one. It's got coloring in it, but there's like more activities other than coloring. Let me know in the comments if that's a book that you have. Do you like it? How do you approach it? Have you completed the book? I think because we were 2021, so about 4 years ago now. The next one that we have is Small Victories, and I know that a lot of us know and love this one. Little wins and miniature masterpieces. And again, we have a real amalgamation of old style and new style of Johanna's work. Like, again, I don't want to be like old and new because it is still her and it's still very recognizable and it's still very stylistically her. But I think like in terms of element wise and subject wise, like this one here, this screams. This says World of Flowers to me. And then this one's more of like a Rooms of Wonder type of thing. So it's like a real homage to and a real tribute to all the different styles that she has. So this one is perfect if you don't have a lot of time. So that one was released in 2024. And then we also have Magical Worlds, which was released in 2024 as well. And this one, yeah, there's just so much in here that just is Rooms of Wonder, and there's some pages here which are just look very similar to Secret Garden and definitely similar to Lord of Flowers as well. So yeah, we've got lots of different varieties from Johanna, which is wonderful. And she does have another release wonderful wildflowers coming out in October of this year. And we also have some new publications coming out in 2026 as well. So we have Inklings coming out in 2026, which is more of a small victories kind of style, which I'm actually really excited about because I love coloring in this book. It's just a different pace, yeah? And then she also has like some mindfulness cards coming out. So I will leave, if you want to pre-order any of those publications, I'll leave links for those below. So I also wanted to talk about why Johanna's work matters and why it feels so important. And I know that it's very personal to me because she is the first illustrator whose coloring books I've ever bought when I started back in 2015 and then had a break and picked it up last year. Hers were the first books that I reached to and really helped me get back into coloring. And I think for me, one of the reasons why her work is so important is number one, nostalgia and comfort. Like we've been saying, her art taps into those childhood feelings and really into that whimsical side that we know and love. That can bring a sense of comfort, that can bring a sense of joy and helps us connect back to our roots and our inner child. Because I think as much as we grow up into adulthood, the inner child is still always with us, and it might just be louder or softer. You might be more in touch with it, you might be less in touch with it, but it is a core part of us, and I think it's something that never leaves. And so with Johanna's books, it's like there's all these childlike worlds that we got to partake in, whether it was through Disney, any other illustrators' works, but now we get to color them. So now as adults, we get to go back into that world and we get to partake in that play-like wonder and mindfulness as adults in our busy lives. And I think it's a really important space to go to, especially like as a kid, I was obsessed with Disney princesses, Disney everything, loved it. And for me, a lot of her style pays homage to that, whether it's intentional or not. But like there's castles to color in, there's mushroom scenes, there's like ocean scenes, like think Little Mermaid, Finding Nemo, like all of this stuff. It's all these beautiful scenes that we're so used to watching as children that now we get to partake in a different way. It's structured escapism and freedom. We get to feel safe, and we also get to be creative as well with our color choices and the mediums that we choose. And we have all seen all over Instagram the most amazing works of art with Johanna's stuff. There are professional artists that are jumping in and coloring in these pages and throwing every different type of medium at her paper, which I think is awesome. The designs are really mindful. It helps us to slow down, be present in the moment and color and find something that's calming and just have that digital detox. I don't know about you, but I'm a person that just loves to like get in there and sniff the book. So, and I love that these are still in bookstores as well. Like it's not just Amazon only. Like you could walk into any bookstore and guaranteed if there's an adult colouring book section, you're going to find at least one publication of Johanna Basford at any given time, which I think is amazing. And I think too, for a lot of people, as much as I'm not really into the hidden objects, a lot of people are, and it provides some kind of engagement for the mind that's not just colouring. So you get to find the thing, and then often the thing is connected to the next page, which is connected to the other one. So it's kind of like this natural progression through a story. And I think too, like another reason why it matters is her style is so timeless and wholesome, yeah? It's not necessarily like on trend, like it is, but it's also classic. It's like I was saying before, I could open up any page, and see any illustration and know that it's Johanna's for the most part without it actually being like in a physical book with it being labeled. I reckon I could recognize it anywhere. And that's one of the things that I love about her illustrations is that it's timeless, it's classic, it's not just going to be in and out like all these other viral trends. Her stuff is viral, but in a really sustainable way. And it's evident in the fact that she's been around for like over 10 plus years, even longer with all of her styles of coloring and illustrations. And I think too, like coloring and her artwork appeals to all ages, like whether you're a teenager or, you know, you're well versed into your 90s. I think there's something in there for everyone, and the variance in her designs means that it's available for most people that are able to grab a pencil and start coloring or grab textures. It's not just like this tiny little niche. It's not like this tiny little, you know, group of people that she's catering for. She's catering for a wide, diverse audience of people, which is great in a community sense. To me, it's not like just art or like just drawing. Like, this is a ritual. The longer that you look at something and the longer that you have it in your life, it just starts to like burn imprints on your eyelids and it starts to burn imprints in your mind. And I know that for decades to come that I'm always going to look at her work with a sense of nostalgia and fondness, because I know that some of my most favorite memories are from these pages. I think the other reason why her work matters and why it feels so important is because she has created this community hub and this hook that just brings us all in together. Yeah, she's created more than just books. She's created this whole like global movement that still has not stopped. I know when adult coloring first came out, people were like, it's not going to last. It's still around, and Johanna is still, as we know, she is releasing multiple publications a year. She is still very active on social media. She's very engaged with her community. She will share works completed in her stuff. Yeah, so she's still very involved on social media, which is great, which means that the community buy-in is higher because we all feel like we're part of her story. We all feel like that we are invested in her and her artwork. And I feel like too, like her first release, Secret Garden, it's kind of made coloring go mainstream, yeah? Like, it's just, I really feel like it's just opened up this whole idea of mindfulness and this whole idea that art therapy can be accessible to everyone, and that people are noticing that creativity and design and art are actually helping them, and it's such a positive thing. And it's a huge reason as to why I got back into it last year, is because I needed something a bit therapeutic for some things that I was processing, some situations that I was going through. I needed something to help process some physical trauma. It just paved the way for some significant healing for me, and I know that there are countless stories of other people feeling the same. To be honest, I mean, I can't, I don't have a crystal ball, but if it wasn't for Johanna, I don't even know if I'd have my channel, because she really started a chain reaction of art and creativity for me, and I know a lot of you guys feel the same. Let me know in the comments if this is you. Let me know in the comments if this has happened to you, if she sparked something in you, if she sparked your coloring journey, if she was the catalyst for that. Let me know. I'd love to hear your story with Johanna and her books and you and your journey. I'd love to know. Yeah, and so the reason why I keep coloring her stuff and I keep purchasing her books is because it's, like I was touching on briefly, her artwork it's like this sense of coming home almost, because I've been looking at her images for so long. I can sit down with a book and immediately just feel like home. I can immediately just feel like myself. I don't have that, oh my God, I'm coloring a new book with a new illustrator for the first time feels, which can be quite daunting. I'll do a video on that later. There's this whole sense of like coming home to myself, which to me is really important for grounding and for that sense of nostalgia, and for that sense of nostalgia to not feel painful, because often nostalgia and memories can feel painful, often because if there's a childhood that we feel like we didn't have, or if we feel like our past life meant more to us than the current life that we're living now. So her work pays homage to nostalgia, but in a really positive and beautiful way. So we can start to connect with our past selves in a positive way. We can connect with our past selves in a way that brings meaning into this life now. And it means that we're not just constantly thinking back to back then and going, oh, I wish I was back there. I wish I was back in the 90s. I wish I was back in the 80s, or whatever decade you feel like you were going back to. For me, often I wish I could just go back to the 2000s. Like boy bands, yeah, Friends. A lot of her work, it can be challenging, but it's so rewarding. She has a huge style available to us that isn't just like so crazy hard that no one can do it. She provides illustrations for all ages and all skill levels, which is wonderful. And like we were saying before, all mediums. So it's engaging and it's challenging, but we feel like we can attempt it. And we feel like that they're pages that hold space for us. Oh, one of the books I didn't mention is Johanna's Christmas. Now, this is a book that was gifted to me, so I have half the pages that we've pulled out. This is a semi-practice book for me. I'm not a huge one into colouring seasonal things, so I'm not a huge Christmas colourer, but this is another publication of hers if you have not heard of it, but no doubt you have. because this is 2016. Sorry, I should have mentioned this earlier. And every page in this book is actually a tear out page and it's single-sided. This is her, like you can color in the back if you want to, but they're all, most of it's grayed out on the back. See, like we've got these, I don't know if you can see, but like it's gray opposed to like the black line work. So my question to you is, do you remember your first Johanna Basford book? Which one was it? And how did you feel when you purchased it? What mediums were you using when you first purchased it? How long ago was it? So for me, like I was saying, it was back in 2015. And I actually used Faber-Castell connector pens, which are just textures. And yeah, they bleed through and they don't like really look that nice, but it was what I had going at the time and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Yeah, loved it. I would also like to know, like, what are your favorite pages? What made you fall in love with her style? What is it about her works that connects you to her illustrations? I would love to know. Let's get the conversation going in the comments. Again, I want this to be a very positive conversation. I want this to really be a tribute to Johanna, to the work that she has done and the work that she will continue to do. So yeah, I would like to keep it really positive because I feel like we've got a lot of videos, like a lot of commentary videos happening lately on YouTube, which can have a bit of a negative connotation sometimes. I see a lot of videos like what's wrong with the internet or like what's wrong with this, what's wrong with that, AI's taking over this. And I think like those videos have a place because I agree with most of the things that they're saying. But I really just wanted to jump in with a positive deep dive, like a video essay kind of style, and really just unpack adult coloring and creativity, Johanna Basford style. So if there is another artist that you would love me to unpack, let me know in the comments. I can add that to my list and I will, like I said, I will add affiliate links to her new books if you would like. There's no obligation. So huge thank you to Johanna for your amazing work, and I would not expect Johanna to ever watch this video, but if you ever do, thank you so much for everything you've done for like worldwide and for the adult coloring community, and we cannot wait for you to do more. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys, and I'm so keen to join you in the next video. Bye for now.